We should all read our copy out loud, because when you read it and you start stumbling over something, that means that something probably needs to be changed. Welcome to Seven Figure Copy, the show where I teach you how to create powerful strategic messaging so you can attract high-paying clients and scale your business to the next level with ease. I'm Gina Whitehouse, your expert conversion copywriter, and this podcast is for ambitious, value-driven female entrepreneurs like you who are ready to scale from 6 to 7 figures without sacrificing what matters most: your values, your time, and your family. In each episode, we'll dive into the art of crafting persuasive words for high-converting websites and sales pages, and you'll learn strategic copy techniques so you attract premium clients and boost your revenue. This podcast was created to help you tackle the challenges of balancing family life and business growth as you take your business to the next level. If you're ready to add a trusted partner to your team, making sure your message is compelling, consistent, and impactful, then you're in the right place. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Gina Whitehouse of the Seven Figure Copy Podcast. I'm your host, and today I have something special for you. It's a live copy audit, and it's not going to be about the homepage. It is about the About page. We all need help with our About page. Sometimes it is the most forgotten page on your website. So today, Michelle Stuenkel from Your Media Squad is joining us, and we're going to focus specifically on her story and how we can make it more vibrant and really make that connection, making her more relatable to her target audience, and then transitioning into showing how she is the expert to help them. So come and join us. Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining me today. Could you tell me a little bit about your business, who you serve, and what service do you offer?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. My company is Your Media Squad, and I help small business owners with any of their online marketing tactics that they have just put aside, that they don't have time to do, such as email marketing, local SEO, social media marketing, blog writing, all those things that you know as a small business owner that you need to do to show up online, but you just put it at the bottom of your to-do list and you just never get to it. So I created my business so I could take that stress off of other small business owners and take care of it on their behalf.
You mentioned your About page, and today we're doing a copy audit, and we're going to specifically look at your About page, and we're going to look specifically at your story. So what I've taught so far in the podcast is about how your About page is like your secret salesperson, or I'd like to say like your secret weapon. And most entrepreneurs don't really give too much thought about the About page. Sometimes, we put so much time towards our homepage, right? Because that's the first thing people see. But then after that, a lot of people go directly to our About page because they want to know, well, what are we about? What do we stand for? What's our story? And it's a really missed opportunity to actually bring leads into your business, to bring in those potential clients. And one of the things I think we also forget is, well, we want to relate to the people who come to our page, but we also need to set ourselves up as the expert, which I know sometimes can be really hard because we don't like to talk about ourselves, or, we don't want to be too braggy, whatever. But there's a way to do it that makes sense and that doesn't feel salesy or braggy, but really can establish that connection with the people who come to that page, but then show us as the people or the person who can help them, and then lead them into, okay, this is how I can help you, bullet point, and then your call to action statement, which is like, okay, do you want to find out more, or a button that goes to your services, right? So we always want to lead people back to whatever offer we have, whether it's a program, some kind of sale, or a product. So let's get started with your story. First, tell me, what were you thinking when you put your About page together?
I wanted people to know that my services, I started this whole business as a side hustle. And the only thing that I focused on when I first started it was doing other small businesses' social media. I had the point of view that, we all need to be on social media to not necessarily to get sales, but to have a presence when people are researching you. a lot of times you'll go to your social media pages and people just don't know how to do that and don't know what they should be posting. So from there, it kind of grew into other services. So I think when I was creating my About page, I wanted people to understand that, you know, there's other things that you can do to show up online and you know, it's not just social media. While social media is important, there's more things that you can do. And it also shows, my About page, I feel like also shows that, you know, I've grown throughout having my business, that my services are growing, my business is growing. So that's kind of what I took into consideration when I was writing it.
All right, great. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to read what you have on your About page. So for those of you listening, listen. I'm going to read a little bit more than I usually do because this is an About page, but just listen to the story and then we're going to kind of pick it apart a little bit. Okay, so this is Michelle's story on her homepage. It says, a side hustle turned full-time business. So that's like kind of like the sub headline above the story, okay? A side hustle turned full-time business. Then she goes in and says, as a former marketing director living in New England, I needed something to do in my spare time during the winter because I hated going out in the cold, snowy weather. So I decided to start a social media management side hustle. I knew there were a lot of business owners who wanted to promote their business on social media, but always pushed it to the bottom of their to-do list. Enter your media squad. I connected with businesses who wanted me to 100% manage their social media so they didn't have to worry about it. As time went on, I was asked if I could do other marketing tasks such as email marketing, blog posting, and SEO services. Naturally, I said yes to everything. After 2 years in New England, I had enough of the cold weather, and I moved back to Florida to be closer to family and the sun. I had no job lined up, but I still had my side hustle. After a few tries at some corporate jobs, I had enough. I took the plunge with the help of my now husband, who is also self-employed, and went all in with my business. Your Media Squad is now my full-time job, and I still love helping small businesses grow online. So there's things that I love about your story that you added. I love that you added some personal elements, your story of being in New England and how it's just really cold and you had enough, you know. And some people might say, like, is it really important to add those kind of things? But I think just, you know, it adds some personality. It tells people a little bit about you, and you never know, someone's going to land on that and then relate to it. You know, you're just showing yourself that you're a relatable person. So right. I think that's good. I think you're, you know, hitting the pain points of your target audience, which are business owners. I think we can make it a little bit more customer centric, though, where we could be actually talking to them or at them. Like just even in the last sentence, when you say your media squad is now my full-time job, and I still love helping small businesses grow online. You could say instead at the end, I love helping small business owners like you grow online. You know, just like those small tweaks is just speaking directly to them, right?
Right. No, I like that.
So now let's go into the news story that I wrote for you.
Okay. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a little bit longer, but not that much longer. What I like to do when I start a story is start with some kind of headline, like a sub-headline, and you do that. So you started with a side hustle turned full-time business. All right. There's nothing bad. It kind of maybe generates a little curiosity. Someone might say, well, okay, I wonder how she turned it into a full-time business, you know? But I came up with something different. You can tell me what you think of it. It actually has nothing to do with business. But the new headline, and I always put this in bold too, so, you know, people see it right away. It says, a cold New England winter changed everything for me.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
It's a little different. It
kind of grabs your attention. It grabs your attention.
And it has nothing to do with business. But yeah, it kind of grabs your attention like, oh, wow, it changed everything for her. How did that change? And oh, yeah, winter, cold, you know?
Yeah, no, I love it.
So I wanted to create some kind of...
a lot of people... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think a lot of people they don't expect, but it's very common for a side hustle to turn into a full-time business. So that's not exciting. So I like what you have.
Or someone just hits an about page and they still expect it to be like a lot of just professional jargon and stuff. You know, you just want to grab their attention into the story, right? So I try to create some kind of like curiosity inducing hook for the opening line to just really spark that curiosity and grab their attention.
Right.
And just kind of, I don't know, just find a way to connect with them, just put it out there.
Yeah, no,
and
I like
see what
it.
they say. Okay.
It's eye-catching.
So then I have a few more sentences until we get to like another sub-headline that's bold. Okay. So here's how the story starts. I grew up in New England, but spent 20 years living in sunny Florida before deciding to move back north for a change of pace. When winter came around, I didn't want to leave my house. Instead of going out and doing fun things on the weekends, I wanted to stay in because it was freezing. As a former marketing director, I needed something to keep me busy during those long winters, and that's when I started a social media management side hustle. I quickly realized there were so many business owners who wanted to promote their businesses online, but ... So that's just the regular text. And then I added in like another sub headline in bold, so it would grab their attention, grab their eye. And so this one says ... always pushed it to the bottom of their to-do list. So it's kind of finishing the previous sentence. So if you put both of them together, it says, I quickly realized there were so many business owners who wanted to promote their businesses online, but always pushed it to the bottom of their to-do list. And then I put in italics, bottom of their to-do list. So that's going to like catch the eye, and someone's going to say, oh yeah, I always push things to the bottom of my to-do list.
Yeah.
Like they could connect with that. What do you think?
I love it. And you know what? I probably, even just saying that you had like a second subtitle, before you even said it, I was thinking, yeah, it's probably a good idea to have like another subtitle to kind of break up my whole story, even though my story is short paragraphs. People, you gotta catch their eye and get them to stay there within like 2 to 5 seconds. So having a second headline, I think, is a great idea.
Yeah, I like to use these like bolded short statements to break up the text, because when you see just a lot of text together, right, that's like the same font, it just people skim over it, right? But when you put something in bold, like just visually how you lay things out on the page, but even, when you put things in bold, or you could put it in all caps, or it could be that red color that you have as part of your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your palette for your website. You could use that bold red color and then put the words in bold, or make it even a different font. It's going to break up the whole story, and then people are going to be looking at it, right? So, and then in this subtitle here, we're kind of like hinting at a pain point that they have. So you're going to make yourself relatable to them, or show them that you understand what they're going through, because now you've transitioned into a problem that you notice that they have. Hey, would you like personalized feedback on a focused portion of your website, an opt-in page, landing page, sales page, or an email sequence? And would you like to be featured on this podcast? Here's your chance to be the next live copy audit. Go to the show notes, click on the link to apply, and pick a time to record your live audit with me. You'll just need to fill out a short questionnaire, and then I'll personally review your submission and contact you if you're selected. So don't wait. This could be your opportunity to optimize your copy and share your business with our audience. All right, so then I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 more sentences until we get to that next heading. So then it says, that's when your media squad was born. My pitch was simple. Let me handle your social media so you don't have to. Over time, my services expanded. Clients wanted me to manage their social media platforms 100% of the time, but they also started asking, do you also handle email marketing? How about blog writing, SEO? Naturally, I said yes to everything. Along the way, I worked with another marketing agency that taught me the ins and outs of local SEO, and it quickly became one of my favorite services to offer. All right, so we ended that text, and now we're going into another subheadline. So now this bold headline says, after 2 years of braving New England winters, I'd had enough. Doesn't sound right. I'd had enough. Oh, geez. Now I'm questioning what I wrote. After 2 years of braving New England winters, I'd had enough.
Yeah. That's
right. So I go back and check that. So there's just like another bolded, statement like, oh, I've had enough, right? So,
Yeah.
But before that, what we're doing is we're establishing your credibility and expertise now. So you can see how we've transitioned into that because we talked about you worked with another marketing agency and they taught you the ins and out of local SEO. So now they know, the person reading knows that not just are you doing social media management, but you're also doing the email marketing, blog writing, and now you've become an expert at SEO and you really love doing it.
Yes.
Right.
And that's actually not in my original story. So I think that's great. So
I should add to those of you listening, when I read through her story, I really wanted to dig into it a little bit more. I felt like there wasn't enough. So I did behind the scenes contact Michelle and I said, can you just send me some like voice recordings of you telling me your story? So I took that and then I transcribed it so I could just read through it. And I kind of melded that with the story you already gave me. So I'm not guessing. You actually told me this information.
Well, yeah. In full disclosure, when you contacted me, I was in the middle of revamping my website. So I hadn't even written this out yet. So it probably would have been smart to go back and read or listen to what I said to you. And it probably would have been included. So this is why this is so good.
It's okay. You know what? And that's, quite often we can get in our own head about writing our own story, where it's almost just hard to put it out on paper. And so, but then the other option is, okay, you can have a copywriter write your own story. And then you might be thinking, well, how's she going to do that? Because she's not me. Right. So like what we just disclosed is there is part of the process. Like when I write an about page for someone, like I'm contacting you, I'm asking you certain questions. We go through a whole interview process where we record the whole thing, just like we're recording this podcast right now. We'll record your story and then I get it transcribed and then I read through it and I look for common themes and all that. And then with all the information you give me, which even includes, not just our like Zoom chat meeting where we go through your questionnaire and then we kind of do the interview questions, but also includes even people's testimonials, looking at those phrases and what people are saying and then putting that in your copy too, even for your about page. Like it all counts. It's all good stuff. So anyways, let's move forward. We're almost done here with the story. Okay. So the last sub-headline says, after 2 years of braving New England winters, I had had enough. And then we go into another small part of like small text. Okay. It says, I moved back to Florida to be closer to my family and the sun. I tried a few corporate jobs, but none of them felt like the right fit. That's when my now husband encouraged me to take the leap and go all in with your media squad, and I haven't looked back since. With his support and my growing passion for helping small businesses, I turned my side hustle into a full-time business by learning exactly how to make marketing manageable and effective for busy business owners like you. Now, I use those strategies to help my clients grow their businesses with less stress.
I love that. I feel like you're grabbing the attention more in pointing out pain points for small business owners and showing that, you don't even have to worry about these marketing tactics or marketing tasks. You can just, hire me to take care of it and not have to worry about it. And I feel like you wrote that out perfectly.
Thank you. Yes. And so you're right. We hit on the pain points and the desires. So we shifted here. We use this text to shift the focus to your target audience and by speaking directly to them by saying things like business owners just like you. And then I use strategies to help my clients grow businesses with less stress. Right. That's one of their desires, or even a pain point is stress. And we want to give them the desire, which is less stress. And then I have two more sentences and it says, people who work with me are relieved to have a trusted partner who understands their needs and help them. That sounds weird. No. See, sometimes when I read things out loud, we should all read our copy out loud because when you read it and you start stumbling over something, that means that something probably needs to be changed. So let me read it again. People who work with me are relieved to have a trusted partner who understands their needs and helps them save time. Maybe that could be reworded differently, but you get the gist.
Right.
So who understands their needs and helps them save time, reduce stress, and grow their businesses with confidence. It's my goal to help business owners take the task of marketing off their plate so they can focus on what they do best, running their businesses. I think I would actually even rewrite that last sentence to be like really speaking directly to them. Something like, it's my goal to help you take the task of marketing off your plate so you can focus on what you do best, running your business. That's good. I'm putting a little mark on here right now. I'm going to rewrite that to be more, to speak directly to that person.
And I used to say getting more sales, but as a business owner, you know, obviously you want to get more sales, but also there's so many other things that you need to do besides marketing, besides sales to run your business. So that's why I think I switched it to running your business.
I think it's good. I mean, you're hitting...
Sales can kind of also grab people's attention, but I still think I'm leaning more towards running your business.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you could say, it's my goal to help people like you take the task of marketing off your plate. I mean, that's the main pain point, the main thing you're offering. So you can focus on what you do best, running your business. You could say running your business, or you could be more specific there. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, work in your zone of genius. I feel like that is so used now. So you can focus on what you do best, scaling your business and bringing in more sales.
That's good.
It could be something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least there is some kind of phrase in there like increase your sales or boost your sales. So it brings their mind back to, okay, if I work with her, I'm going to have more time to actually grow my business. Yeah. And make more profit. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So how does this all feel to you?
I love it. I like how you kind of went more into my story, which I didn't do. And you hit more pain points. No, I love it. I think the more you can talk about the back end of your story and how you got started, I think that can bring more people in and connect with you more.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I think sometimes we could be really shy about going into the background story, but you just never know. It's going to connect with someone, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a New Englander could just connect with me because I'm from New England. You never know. So it could be something small as that.
And now they're living in Florida now, too. And they're like, wow, she's just like me.
Yeah.
You never know, right? So here, I'm just going to do like a small recap of what we did. So we created a curiosity-inducing hook, and we kind of streamlined your story and put more details in there. We broke up the paragraphs with 2 other sub-headlines or hooks, okay? And then we started off by showing how you can relate to them or just making you relatable by sharing details of your story. And then we slowly kind of like shifted the focus to them and also highlighted your expertise and how you got from, you know, side hustle to full-on business now. Now, what I want you to go into next, and we're not going to go into it here, but I'll just kind of give you the framework, is so then after your story, you want to go into the bullet points of how you help them. So at the top of your page, let me bring that up here. You give like just a little intro of who you are. And then you say, I have worked with small business owners to help them with, and then you have 6 bullet points. And it says like marketing strategy, increasing organic local SEO, social media management, website design, email marketing, and copywriting. So what you want to do here is I would take away that little section. I would bring it down here after your story. I would limit it to 3 to 5 bullet points. But what you're listing here is just like facts. Like it's just the deliverables. It's what they're going to get. What I want you to do is I want you instead to rewrite those bullets so that you're showing the outcome of what it's like to work with you, the benefit of working with you. So, see, I didn't rewrite any of these, but let me just pick one. So you would have like a sentence before that would lead into these bullet points, kind of like what you have now, right? So at the end of your story, it says, yeah, it's my goal to help business owners like you take off marketing off your plate so you can run your business. Let me show you how we can work together. And then you're going to have your bullet points. And one of those could say something like if you focus on email marketing, say, I can take email marketing off your plate so that you can, and that's what you want to fill in the blank. And that's where you add the benefits so that you can spend more time on whatever it is they need to do. I'm not really good off the cuff. I have to be able to sit down and think over these things and write them. But whatever you say, website, I can help you, design your website so that you can, and then you put in that outcome, put in that desire that they want. All right. So 3 to 5 of those. And then you want to have just a last statement. I call it a call to action statement, CTA statement. And it could say something like, are you ready to free up your time and grow your business with a customized marketing plan? Let's chat and create a strategy that works for you. And then you would have a button that will lead them to probably your services.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that.
All right. And then also on your about page, these are other things you can add, which you don't have right now. Definitely some testimonials.
Okay.
Maybe 3 testimonials. You could add a short professional bio at the end, things like, I got my education here, University of blank or whatever, or I worked here. It's optional, but you don't have to do that, but it's something you can add. You could also add a section that says something like why people choose to work with your media squad. Maybe have 3 boxes and just have a short piece of text, 1 to 2 sentences of highlighting your strengths as a business. Okay. And then at the end, you could also have, if you want to bring in your social media area, your Instagram page, a few posts from there, where it draws from your Instagram. Right. So people can see, if I really want to know more about her, what she does, or, you're always posting great tips on your Instagram. They can go over there and learn more about you, and that will just establish your credibility more.
Perfect. I like that.
All right. Well, that's all I got for you today. Let me end with this question that I ask to all my people that come on here. All right. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Can you give all the female entrepreneurs and small business owners out there one piece of advice that has helped you scale your business while keeping your family and personal life thriving?
Oh, that's a good question. I love that question. I say consistency and pre-planning, which a lot of people take this into consideration when it comes to social media, but I think it's so much more. It's just in general with your whole business. Just be consistent with what you're doing, even if it's not working. Keep on showing up even when you don't want to, because it does pay off. I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years, and I've had my moments where I'm like, should I just go back and find a full-time job and work for someone else? And quickly got out of that. And then you have your huge wins that keep you going. So consistency is something that's huge for me. And then in order to be consistent, you just have to, pre-plan, pre-schedule, have a plan. So I think that's probably what I would tell all those solo women entrepreneurs out there.
Yeah, so good. Pre-planning. If you can batch things in advance and get things planned out, for a quarter at a time, or even if you could just do a month, it just makes things so much easier, especially when things come up, right, that you can't control. So
absolutely.
Great advice, Michelle. Okay. How can listeners find you online?
Well, my website is yourmediasquad.com. And then you can find me on Instagram at yourmediasquad.com. I post a lot of digital marketing tips there that help small businesses. So, and I'm always in my stories, so you can find me there.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It was fun to do this for you.
Thank you. This was so helpful.
I'm so glad. All right. I'm going to let you go. Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of 7-Figure Copy. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave a 5-star review on your favorite platform and follow me on Instagram for more insights. Can you think of one female entrepreneur or small business owner right now who could benefit from listening to this podcast? Please share this episode with them. And if you're ready to hand off the copy for your website, emails, and sales pages, head over to www.whitehousesm.com to book a complimentary copy chat with me. Let's partner together to take your business to the next level.